Getting my driver's license means that I'll be able to go wherever I want, and I don't have to ask for rides or stay in one spot as much.
I feel excited and free because I don't have to rely on my friends and my parents, and I can rely on myself and be independent.
Once I got my license, I'd be able to just drive around with my friends and be able to not have to be around my parents and my friends at the same time. So that would be nice, because then my parents are kind of weird.
I'm looking forward to having my driver's license and not having my parents with me wherever I go.
As Alyssa's mom, some things I do fear when she is driving is getting in an accident. In inclement weather, it bothers me if the roads are bad, whether she's safe.
My thoughts to Jamal being on the road by himself is kind of scary. You know, everyone has to do it, but I'm a parent and I worry about him. Not so much his driving, everyone else's bad driving is what scares me the most.
It's a little scary, but it's a step for him to grow and be independent.
As a father, you're very nervous, you worry. You try to prepare them prior to that time. We've had motorcycles, we've driven small tractors, we've shown him things, so you try to prepare him to some degree, but you still always have that worry in the back of your mind. So.
I have some fears with driving on the road because I'm by myself and anything can go wrong, but I'm pretty confident.
I have no fears about driving.
I'm not really scared about getting my license, just mostly excited.
Some of the discussions we've had with him about him driving on his own or being responsible, going over things that we've worked on in the past as far as riding together and driving on his own.
The main discussions I've had with Jamal about driving is first and foremost setting the car up for himself while he's driving, as the mirrors in the seat make sure he's comfortable. Secondly, no distractions. And thirdly, obey all the laws and watch out for bad drivers.
Car crashes are the #1 killer of teens, but with the right training and education, you can help lower the risk. Iowa's Graduated Driver's License, or GDL system, helps you as a young driver learn skills and gain experience before receiving full driving privileges. The GDL system has 3 levels that help you build experience and safe driving habits. Some teens may also be eligible for a minor school license to drive between home and school during the instruction permit level.
If I'm involved in a traffic violation with my instruction permit, I'm pretty sure it gets revoked.
I'm not sure what would happen if I'm involved in a traffic violation.
So if I get in a crash or get a traffic violation, I get my license suspended.
Why is the GDL system important? Drivers with dangerous habits and behaviors put their lives and the lives of others in danger. That danger becomes even worse when bad driving behaviors mix with inexperience. The GDL system reduces that danger by gradually developing your driving experience and carefully moving you from supervised to unsupervised driving as you increase your safe driving experience and complete your driving education. Practice, guidance, and education help make you a better, safer driver and protect your life and the lives of your friends, family, and other motorists. To make sure you're developing safe driving skills and behaviors, the GDL system imposes consequences for crashes, traffic violations, and driving at times or for purposes not permitted by your license. Crashes, violations, and violation of restrictions on your license may result in a loss of your driving privilege, and depending on the violation and your level, could delay your progress to the next GDL level by 6 months to a year. Take your driving privileges seriously and exercise them carefully and responsibly so you can safely advance without delay. We've made it our goal to reach 0 fatalities on our roads in Iowa, and your participation in the GDL system and the safe skills and behaviors you develop from it can help us get there. Every person is important to someone, and if we all focus on these 5 driving behaviors, together we can all reach 0 fatalities.
When I hear aggressive driving, I think someone like tailgating and honking their horn a lot and cutting people off
In my mind, when I think of aggressive driving, road rage comes to mind. You know, people want to get to where they need to be with no one getting in their way. And so if someone does get in their way, they want to swerve around them, follow too close to get that person out of their way, and just focusing on getting to the spot as opposed to driving safely.
Some things you can do to avoid aggressive driving would be like staying calm.
To avoid aggressive behaviors while driving, I feel if you're prompt and on time, you don't feel the need to speed or have the stress of being somewhere on time.
Driving distracted is most likely the radio or having somebody with me that's talking to me, like my mom.
Always checking your phone, not paying attention to the road, listening and looking around as your friends are in the car with you.
You can have your phone completely away from you, only have your radio so loud, and when you have friends in the car, make sure they're not too loud and distracting.
Get rid of the cell phone. If you are going to listen to music, put it on the station that you want it on and leave it on that station, and just make sure you're focused on the road at all times.
I feel that buckling up while you're in a vehicle, either in the front or the back, is important, because if you were involved in a crash, it would lessen your chances of being hurt.
As I've gotten older, I've come to realize it isn't about me so much, me personally. It's about who I need to go home to, my family.
If I ever have friends in the car, I always make sure they buckle up, or if I'm ever with a friend, I always make sure I buckle up.
Whenever I'm driving, everyone that is with me always wears their safety belt. If they don't have it on, they can't ride with me.
If you drive under the influence, not only is that against the law, but it makes it you're a danger to everyone on the road, because you're not as focused and you swerve a lot more and you can hurt yourself and everyone around you.
The consequences of driving impaired would be losing your license for a period of time. Also, there's the consequence of losing your life or other people around you.
Driving drowsy can be just as bad as driving impaired. You're not aware of your surroundings. You're more likely to be involved in a crash or hurt somebody.
The best thing you could do is pull over to the side of the road at a rest stop or somewhere that's well lit and take a half-hour, 45-minute nap. You may get there a little later, but it's gonna save your life.
You never know what can happen in the blink of an eye. I mean, you have your life on the line and the lives of others also. I'm Sydney Ernst. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Sac City, Iowa. A group of high school students were traveling home from Carroll, Iowa, and they decided to take gravel roads that night, and they just happened to meet at an unmarked intersection at somehow the same exact time, and The driver of the truck happened to be drinking pretty heavily and ran into the passenger side of the vehicle that the two girls were in and killed both of them instantly. Everybody was shocked. It was a really, really sad time in the community. It was all people talked about. And then after a while, it kind of seemed, especially in the teenage individuals, they just like forgot about it, or they drank for them. A lot of times they would go out and drink and say this was for them in remembrance of them. And it was kind of just shoved under the rug after a while. And sometimes it's brought up. People will ask about it or whatever, but I mean, I would say the drinking stayed the same or even increased around here. A couple weeks after the teen drinking and driving crash that the two individuals were involved in, there was another crash where a girl in my grade was driving home from orientation day and happened to be on her cell phone and went over into the gravel shoulder, overcorrected because it scared herself, and ran head-on into an RV traveling in the opposite direction. She died on impact. Coral just radiated positivity, I guess, wherever she went, and her laugh was contagious. It scares me to death to think about being on my phone, and it gives me really bad anxiety if I see others on their phone, just because I worry so much about other people because it happens in the blink of an eye. About a month after all of those accidents occurred, I was in an accident. I was traveling home from Ida Grove, which is about 45 minutes away from here. And it wasn't too late at night, about 9:30 I left there. And I didn't realize how tired I was. And before I knew it, I woke up because I heard some weird sound, and I was in the opposite ditch. And I remember I saw a telephone pole pass right by my left headlight. And I was trying my hardest to stop, I remember, and I just couldn't get the car to stop. And I don't know why, so I just closed my eyes because I had no idea what to do. A friend of mine in my class has a dad who was actually the EMT in the ambulance the night of my accident. And he told me if I had not been wearing my seatbelt, there's no way I would have walked out of that alive. So the seatbelt definitely saved my life. These events changed my perspective on how I live every day, because I am thankful for every single day that I'm still here, because I know if I hadn't been wearing the seatbelt, I wouldn't be here. The events changed the way I view driving because I'm so much more cautious. I do feel like the Zero Fatalities goal is achievable as long as the stories are out there, because I feel like there's so many people who don't know what can happen, who are they have this mindset that they're invincible. I mean, that's how all teenagers are, honestly. So I feel like if they knew about the stories that actually happen, I mean, I do feel like the Zero Fatalities goal could be reachable. Teens, first and foremost, need to wear their seatbelts when they get in a car, no matter how far you are traveling. Also, when you're in a car, don't touch your cell phone. Just be cautious always. Stuff does happen when you don't realize it can happen. So just always be aware. I mean, you have your life on the line and the lives of others also.
Safe driving behavior comes down to your choices. What you do behind the wheel can have a serious effect on your life and the lives of those around you. So make Zero Fatalities your goal. Always slow down and avoid aggressive driving. Focus on the road. Buckle up. Drive sober. And stay alert.
When I think about my family, I think it's acceptable to have 0 fatalities in my family.
I think it's an important goal because everyone in my family is important to me, and I just don't want them to die like that.
I think that 0 fatalities is a good goal for my family, and I think it should be a good goal for every family in Iowa.
It would be zero.